This video will go over how to create a flat file to upload data into FUDSChem. Most data types in FUDSChem can be uploaded via a flat file, or alternatively, be entered through the interface. In most cases, either path is equally valid. However, we recommend uploading groundwater level data through the interface to take advantage of auto-populating fields. For more information, please refer to our groundwater level entry tutorial video, linked in the description. For location data, if you are entering decision units, we recommend entering the data through the interface. This allows you to attach a KML file detailing the shape of the decision unit. For more information, please refer to our loading locations through the FUDSChem interface tutorial video, linked in the description. The first step to entering data via a flat file is looking at the data specification. Go to Reports, ADR and Submission Reports, Electronic Data Specification, Fixed Width, to look up what needs to be included in our file. Here, you would choose the desired data type. We'll look at a couple data types to see their similarities. First, let's choose well completion info, then click View Report. At the top of the report, there is a brief description of the data type. The table just below tells us field name, what fields need to be included in the file. Data type, the type of characters the field will accept. This is defined at the bottom. For example, varchar is a variable character field that can accept letters and numbers up to the maximum length. VVL, whether the field requires a valid value. Required, whether the field must be populated or can be left blank. Column width, the number of characters to include in a fixed width file, which is also the character limit for the field. Start and end position, where each column starts and ends in a fixed width file. Description, what the field contains. We can see that well completion info includes a number of fields. The district ID and location ID will always be the first two fields for any data type. Dates and remarks are also common fields we'll see. Let's change our data type to well maintenance info and click View Report. This data type has fewer fields, but still starts with district ID and location ID. Let's change our data type to lithology and click View Report. Again, we see the same general structure, starting with the district ID and location ID. We'll enter lithology data for our example here. Now that we know what to include in our file, we need to decide what kind of file to create. Back in our main window, we can look up which file types are accepted. Let's go to Tools, Data Submission. We'll choose lithology as our example data type, and click Upload File. Our options are CSV, Fixed Width, Pipe Delimited, and Tab Delimited. CSV is the easiest option to create by hand, because we can do so using Excel. Fixed Width, Pipe Delimited, and Tab Delimited are more commonly used if the data is in a database already, and the computer can output and format it for us. For this example, we have a hard copy boring log, and we'll be entering lithology data by hand, so we will choose to create a CSV file. For the sake of time, we've already started to prepare a file according to the specification. To prepare this spreadsheet, we named each column with the field names listed in the data specification. Dist ID is a 5-letter code denoting what district you are in. The dist ID is just US plus the 3 letters that appear in the database dropdown after your district name. For example, New England district would be USNAE. For the training database, it is USTRN. We'll get started with the example location, CRB-MW-466S. The next step is to fill out the data. This may look a little different depending on your data type, but there are certain things to keep in mind regardless of what kind of data you are entering. For us, our first row will include the beginning and ending depth of the first interval, 0 and 10. In the specification, we can see that the data type numeric is assigned to this field. It says that the depth is measured in feet below the ground and is reported as a positive number. The next field is the log date, which requires a special format. The data specification shows that the date format needs to be dd-mmm-yyyy. So, we will enter 11-AUG-2022. Note that Excel tends to automatically reformat dates. To force Excel to use the format we need, we will select the date column, right-click, and choose Format Cells. On the Number tab, choose Custom. Type in dd-mmm-yyyy. Click OK. Note that if you close the file and open it again, Excel may reformat the date once more. Note that you can leave the file open after saving it, even when you upload the file on the data submission page. That way, if errors are present and updates are needed, you can work on the already open file, thus avoiding having to reopen the file and causing Excel to reformat the date. The next field, log code, represents the company that collected the data. If we look at the data specification, we can see that it requires a valid value. To look up valid values, go to Reports, ADR and Submission Reports, Valid Value Lists. In this case, we will choose lithology as the data table and log code as the data type in the dropdown. Click View Report. We could scroll through to find the valid value for the correct company, or use the search box up at the top to look for the value we need. Let's search for Synectics. We can see that the valid value is ESYS. In our Excel file, we will enter ESYS. If you cannot find a valid value that you need, reach out to your Synectics point of contact, and we can add companies to the valid value list. This applies to all fields that require companies or organizations. We would continue entering information in the file and looking up valid values as needed. For the sake of time, we've already looked up these valid values and know that the first lithologic layer, silty sand, has a lith code value of SDSL. The accompanying ASTM code is SM. The next two fields are marked optional, so these are columns we can leave blank. The visual description is required, so we will be sure to enter it, matching the hard copy word for word. Please be careful with commas in the description if you're planning on saving the file in CSV format. CSV stands for comma-separated values. In some older versions of Excel, adding a comma in the description may make the file separate that description into two columns, which will cause problems. From here, we would enter data from the next lithologic interval. Since it is from the same borehole, many of the columns, such as the log code and the log date, will remain the same. We can copy them down as long as we are mindful that Excel may try to find a pattern and increase our date. Once we have entered all of the information, we will save the file as a CSV. Note that you can include multiple locations in the same file, but in the case of long data sets like this lithology file, you may opt to break each location into its own file. Let's upload our file. Go back to the main FUDSChem window. Go to Tools, Data Submission. Make sure we have the correct project and event selected, then choose the correct data type, in this case, lithology. Click Upload File. Make sure the file type is CSV, and choose your file. Once it is uploaded, we will click the checkbox and choose Screen to make sure there are no errors flagged by the system. If there were errors, we would be able to click on the number of errors to view an error report. We would update the file, re-upload, then screen the new version. Since there are 0 errors, we will click Certify to send this file into the queue for review. Once you have certified the file, please be sure to upload the associated hard copy PDF documentation to the library and to notify the appropriate user to approve the file. For information on reviewing and approving data, please refer to our Government Personnel Tutorials playlist, linked in the description. For more information on uploading files to the library, please refer to our Library Submission Tutorial video, linked in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.